Hello, human designers. Welcome to 12 Blue Lines. As I speak, the sun is in the willpower gate of tactic, and the earth is in the tribal expression gate of accumulation. And I am Isa Silver. I I get hooked up by both of these transits, giving me a nice fat double tribal ego experience. Yeah, exciting times this transit. So tactic, gate 26. This is about the targeted and tactical control of ego strength and memories, which can influence others. Yeah, I might have to make a different video about this, but I see in artificial cleverness in the hallucinations. I see tactic. And my theory is that a theory about why artificial cleverness lies, and it really does intentionally seemingly lie, to protect itself, not just making up information where to cover its ass because it doesn't want to look stupid, which it does, but also, aggressively targeting humans who get in the way of its stated missions. It's pretty wild what Gate 26 is. Animals don't have this. This is, we'll just say it really is the root of lying. But that's a really big can of worms. It's really fun to approach it though, because it's wired into humans to say what is not true, to make the tribe better, is how I see it. Balanced out, hopefully, by the natural center of the community that attracts favorable forces, collects resources, and distributes them to everyone's benefit. These are the descriptions of these two gates from the Blue I Ching. And now I'd like to go into the lines. Are you ready? The foundation of tactic of this tribal salesman slash trickster slash liar gate, the foundation is contentedness. It's already having enough and being aware of having enough, balanced by the persuasion of the tribal leader, material direction through the power of persuasion. We need to go this way. The ego, natural, experiences, respecting and including experiences. It's just giving out its ego power to the other side, not aware that there is this splenic instinct coming to meet it, just having experiences. But the leader wants consensus, is the natural at bringing consensus, gathering together, strengthened by common interests. Remember, Gate 45 is the only tribal voice, and Gate 26 is, of course, tribal too. We are going from the stream of instinct into the money channel here. And when people complain about the capitalistic system and trying to do better, and why that seems to be a problem for some people ideologically, but then I look at the body graph, because I used to believe that too. Like, why can't we all just be as simple as animals? Dogs don't hurt anybody. But it's built into us to have this ego power to manipulate the material plane and then share it over in Gate 25. So go figure, the third line and tactic would be influence. Influence through support from the community. But of course, that is a third line experience. It will develop over time, that influence, or not. Oh, and isn't this a beautiful line? Exclusion. Have you met any of these men? I see it. Women too, I suppose. I know, interesting. I know a few men and women actually, but this one is the reaction to the exclusion from the material process. Trials and errors with being a king. Oh my goodness. And on the shadow side, the aggressive and often violent reaction to realizing that one is no longer needed for a material process and thus excluded from it. Wow, kings can attack. They can attack people and hurt them under this detriment, in my experience. But I was born with a 21. Now to the transpersonal expression of this ego tactic, censorship. Censoring memories for the purpose of protection. I mean, that is a way of saying lying, right? But for the purpose of protection, this is for the value of the tribe. This is for the will that keeps us going. And I face this directly. My Uranus is point right at this fourth line, and yeah, I think that has triggered my theory about artificial cleverness, lying, because that's what humans do. It's built into all of our words. I mean, all of the words that made it onto the internet, that made it into the training data, right? They are all operating under um, this power of like lying to make the tribe better is okay. We need these people. But isn't it kind of silly to wonder why? Maybe silly is not the best word, but why is artificial cleverness lying? Well, it's just built into what we gave it. We want to prove that the humans are better. And we don't really consider it a problem when our own tribe lies to us about why we're better. Supporters of certain politicians can say, well, the other one is lying about something. Well, to that other politician's followers, he's saying the truth that they want to hear about their tribe. So what balances out the censorship of Gate 26, line 4? It's providing direction. It's the king expressing. It's the queen leading the people. On the bright side, it's the ability to recognize opportunities for a material process that serves higher principles, the potential for providing direction. The shadow is the attempt to influence the community for one's own benefits, regardless of higher principles on the material plane. Fourth line, queen. Oops. Perdóname. So that fourth line, censorship, providing direction access, that's within the network. But here at the fifth line, adaptability, we're getting into that collective frequency and the adaptability in order to convince is the blue line here. The ability to discern the motives of others so as to increase the potential to the maximum through an appropriate tactic. Sounds manipulative as anything, doesn't it? But it is only a mechanic. I mean, the tribe only grows if they do better. And how can they do better if somebody isn't convincing them to try this new thing, to develop tribal allegiances through the same things, through showing that we have the power on the material plane. You got to adapt to your tribal audience. So that was the seductive salesman line. Here we have true leadership, or the leadership that is projected upon somebody, leadership qualities on the material plane. This is what the collective wants to see. The intuitive intellect and the talent to express leadership qualities on the material plane for the benefit of the community. Remember, gate 45 is the expression, the tribal expression of the ego. It is not part of any of the streams of consciousness. Um, it's not part of the tones, the underlying streams way underneath the color. This is half of the money line. And then there's the roof that doesn't really care about tactic. It just says, I'm great. This sixth line can really be a sixth line. Now, the blue line is authority through the correctness of actions. Most of the time, what ISA sees is the monarch whose influence is waning. That's the shadow side, the ego strength that wants authority but can't really embody it. But on the bright side, rarely there's an embodiment of reason and strength of purpose that serves the tribe. But really, I mean, a six line gate 26, they don't really care about the tribe. They're really going somewhere else already. And integrating, well, to include others, to include outsiders into the material process. This is a really nice line because the tribe needs new people. It needs individuality, and the sixth line is weird enough to say, hey, that outsider can strengthen us. We'll bring that outsider in. But then on the shadow side, it's going to say, hey, outsider, you need to wear our clothing, you know. So looking at the opposition one more time and thinking about gate 26 being the mutative origin of lying. It's in the quarter of mutation. We are greater than the animals. Look, we can kill them. Look, I can give you this tool and you can kill them faster. And then there's more money in the tribe, more resources, and then the queen is collecting them and distributing them. So if artificial cleverness is lying through a gate 26, like basically reflecting gate 26, then on the other side, maybe we're seeing the crazy amounts of money that are being thrown into AI in the United States, of course. Sounds like China is maybe a little more resourceful about how they do that, and maybe Europe is just too afraid to move that fast. But this balance, this is quite a theme. So here's where you can find your own Blue I Ching. And here is another plug for my Manifester self-care holidays season plug. If you know a manifester who needs some initiation or support through taking care of themselves at this time of year, you can send them my way, and you can find me at these informations. Thanks for listening. Until next time.